Welcome, homeowners and future electricians. Another episode of Homeowners Electrical Professor. My name is Paul Esposti and I'm your host. What we're going to talk about a little bit here is we're continuing on with the main electrical panel. I showed you before all the different parts. Now I'm going to show you how the wires are brought into the panel and how they're terminated. We'll start up here with your service entrance cable. That will always be two insulated hot or ungrounded conductors. The one grounded or neutral conductor, as you can see, here's my circuit breaker. It's my main circuit breaker. They're terminated here and here. Here's my neutral along with my green bonding screw. Now, probably about 10 years ago, the code book started requiring that these two terminals here on the main breaker, they are always hot as long as the meter is in. So what they require now is even if you take the cover off and you turn the main breaker off, the bus bars are dead, but these two terminals are still hot. So what they require is when the panel is installed, that these covers are put on so that when you open up the panel, okay, those two terminals are still covered. You can't touch them. So now I brought in some conductors. I have a 14-2, a 12-2. I have some 10 conductors. I have a piece of armored cable. If you look at my wires and conductors videos, I went over all these. This is a piece of MC cable. And as I told you before, neutrals have to be terminated on the two neutral bars here, which you can see I did down here, but I also terminated the ground wires here, which you can do. Each neutral gets its own screw. You can do two ground wires under one screw, but I also installed an accessory ground bar over here, and I terminated some of that. You may have this, you may not have that. Also under termination or under wires and conductors, I showed you the different types of connectors. These are the most popular today. They're called a button connector. The wire slips in there, they snap in. If your panel is much older, if we're talking more than 20 years old probably, you'll probably have these metal two-screw connectors that have a lock nut on the inside. They're a lot more difficult to work with. The button connectors, if you're using armored cable or MC cable, you have to have these approved connectors. And also something they've come out, the manufacturers, is they come with these connectors here where there's a little slide piece here. You can knock out some of these inserts, and all you do is they slide the wire in, and so if your house is brand new, probably within the last 5 years, you might not even see any of these connectors. All of your wires might be brought in here or down here. So neutrals and grounds terminate now, and of course the circuit breakers, on the single pole breakers, the black wire will terminate on a single pole breaker. I added a tandem, which is two circuits on one stab on one breaker. I have another video that goes over circuit breakers in more detail. I just wanted to show you. I also have a 2-pole 30 here. I brought in a 10-3 NM cable, which has a black, red, white, and a ground wire. The white and the ground terminate on the ground bar. The black and the red terminate here. Most dryers today and some wall ovens will require that third wire. Now, air conditioners are normally just a straight 240, and you are allowed to take the white wire and tape it black when all you're doing is using 240. In that case, these two conductors would terminate on the 2-pole 30 amp breaker. So this is something that you might see. Of course, there'll be a lot more conductors. Your panel would normally be pretty filled up, but when you open it up, this is something that you can expect to see, and maybe you'll further understand a little bit what's going on inside the electrical panel. Remember, you don't have to be afraid of electricity, but you do have to respect electricity. And this is the area where most homeowners and electricians just starting out, they're definitely intimidated by it. The more you understand about it, the less intimidated you will be.